Welcome to day 2 of our 3-part webinar series. I am your host, Brad Pitt. Actually, I'm Radleigh Valentine, and I am here to talk to you today about working with tarot and your spiritual helpers and how all that comes together. But first, I want to do a little bit of cleanup from yesterday. We had some questions. So one person asked, how important is the guidebook in the decks? So I think the guidebook is fairly important, especially in a couple of the decks, but the guidebook really gives you an understanding of what the cards mean and what other possible meanings of the cards could be. Especially in tarot, there's a whole lot of different meanings for each particular card. And so I don't want you to go down that rabbit hole yet. That's Riley saying hello. I don't want you to go down that rabbit hole too much because I don't want you to get intimidated by tarot and think I've got to do all this memorization and stuff, because you just don't. But if you read the guidebook, I think it's sort of like cues your intuition. It sort of like helps you to kind of like go, oh, I never thought about that. That's a good point, and might even help you with other cards other than the one that you just read about in the guidebook. In this particular deck, Guardian Angel Messages, one of the things that's super cool about it is that for every card, there is a channeled message from the guardian angels that's a message about that card. So this particular guidebook is really cool because you can just go like this and stick your finger in. Welcome to day 2 of our 3-part webinar series. I am your host, Brad Pitt. Actually, I'm Radleigh Valentine, and I am here to talk to you today about working with tarot and your spiritual helpers and how all that comes together. But first, I want to do a little bit of cleanup from yesterday. We had some questions. So one person asked, how important is the guidebook in the decks? So I think the guidebook is fairly important, especially in a couple of the decks, but the guidebook really gives you an understanding of what the cards mean and what other possible meanings of the cards could be. Especially in tarot, there's a whole lot of different meanings for each particular card. And so I don't want you to go down that rabbit hole yet. That's Riley saying hello. I don't want you to go down that rabbit hole too much because I don't want you to get intimidated by tarot and think I've got to do all this memorization and stuff, because you just don't. But if you read the guidebook, I think it's sort of like cues your intuition. It sort of like helps you to kind of like go, oh, I never thought about that. That's a good point, and might even help you with other cards other than the one that you just read about in the guidebook. In this particular deck, Guardian Angel Messages, one of the things that's super cool about it is that for every card, there is a channeled message from the guardian angels that's a message about that card. So this particular guidebook is really cool because you can just go like this and stick your finger in, and there's a message for you. So for example, this one is 8 of Fire, and it says, take a deep breath. We know you are feeling anxiety in the face of all the opportunities before you, but when you're tempted to give in, to overwhelm, remind yourself that you're actually very blessed. Focus on the dreams coming true and ask for your assistance. Remember, we guardian angels are amazing multitaskers. So whereas if you were doing readings for someone else, I would 90% of the time say you don't want to get the guidebook out because that's going to look really funny to somebody else. But in this particular case, you could, because you could like say, just do your readings on the cards without the guidebook, but then you could say, I want to get you a special message from your guardian angels, so let's find one. And that fits into the reading and doesn't look really very weird. But yeah, I think the guidebooks are good, but don't make them a crutch, okay? You don't want it to be that it's like, I feel like I can't read without the guidebook. That's not what you want. Another question we got was, Can I use someone else's cards or cards that were previously owned by somebody else? And the answer to those questions is yes and yes. Now, one of the things that we didn't talk about yesterday that we are going to talk about today is the need to clear your cards and to bless your cards. And so I'm going to lead you through how to do that. It's really easy. But I used to like travel around the world, and there'd be a situation where it's like someone needed a reading, or I needed to do a reading really quick, and I didn't have my cards with me, and I would just borrow cards from somebody else, give them a quick clearing, and then do my readings, and then say, okay, here's your card deck back, clear it. Okay, so you just need to clear it between those two things. And if you find a used card deck, like on I think on Amazon they have used ones, or you know those freestanding libraries that people build in their front yards. They put them in their front yard, and it's just a little bitty box, and they put books in there that they're done with. Well, if I bought a card deck and it didn't resonate with me, I used to put those in there. And also around the holiday season, if I had excess stock of my own card decks, I'd put them in there as sort of like this whole well, Merry Christmas, here's an unopened deck in plastic, blah, blah, blah. So you can definitely do that. Just clear it really well. That's all you have to do. We're going to be when we do run through the clearing process, you're going to hear me say a little prayer that I really like to use. And that prayer is in the guidebook. Every guidebook contains a prayer. So you don't have to try to write that down real quick or come back to it. It's in the guidebooks, or you can come back here, but the prayer that matters the most is your prayer, okay? So you want to copy me? That's very flattering. Go ahead. But you have your own prayer. That's great. That works too. A couple of other things I want to tell you. Hopefully some of you who saw yesterday had the opportunity to sort of practice with some cards if you had some. There's a couple of things that might happen when you are shuffling. And one of those things is maybe a card goes, woo, okay? That's called a jumping card. That's called a jumping card. And so what we do with jumping cards is we just set them aside because it's additional information for the reading. If you were doing a 3-card reading, go ahead and lay out your 3 cards, but set this one aside, and it just gives you some extra information at the end of it. Also, another thing, I am very, very careful because while you can, if you are a real expert and you have reversed cards down, that is great, awesome on you, and you want to read my cards reversed, you absolutely can read my cards reversed. Reversed means that a card comes out upside down. That's what that term means, okay? A lot of people incorrectly believe that a reversed card is bad. Not necessarily, or that a reversed card just means the opposite of what it means if it's upside right. That's also not necessarily the case. Sometimes a reversed card is a diminishing of the energy. So how about this one right here that I just pulled, a 5 of fire? So conflicts, annoyances, competitions. So reversed, it might mean that energy is leaving. That energy of conflict is leaving your life, and we like that, right? That's a good thing. So it's not necessarily a negative. For the most part, though, I read my cards upside right. I shuffle very carefully. So a reversed card is unusual for me. And if it falls out, I turn it upside right, but I also I give that card extra credence. It has extra weight in the reading. Because for me, as carefully as I shuffle not to have upside down cards, to me, that is the angels basically trying to say, we are really trying to get you to pay attention to that card. Make sense? Okay. Okay. So today we're going to have a good time. I'm going to start by showing you how to clear your cards because I want to make sure that you know how to do that. But then we are going to talk about working with the card decks to get information from your guardian angels, to get information from specific or archangels that are just reaching out to you. We're going to talk about working with the cards to, if you want to like get messages from elementals like fairies, okay? And we're going to talk about animal guides, and we're going to talk about getting messages from passed over loved ones through the cards, okay? So we're going to talk about all of these things. That's a lot to cover in at the hour that we have today. So I am going to like hit the ground running now, okay? All right, so let's start with clearing cards. I just happen to have, this is the deck I happen to have, although, you know, I really want to, well, I'm going to work with both. I'm going to be working a lot with this deck today, and I'm also going to be working a lot with Angel Wisdom, but I'm going to kind of walk you through all the decks because of the different elements that we're talking about today. But so we'll just use this one as an example. Now, one of the things that if you were here yesterday or saw the yesterday's video that you heard me talk about is that there's an old ritual where people take their cards out of the box and they wrap them in satin and silk or put them in a wood box. And you can absolutely do that. There's no reason you can't. But for fun, we made the inside of this box look like purple satin. So we kind of like tried to do that for you on the inside of this box. That you take the cards out of the box and you hold them in your non-dominant hand, okay? So that is the hand you generally do not write with. If you are just absolutely ambidextrous, then good for you. You just let your heart tell you which one you want to hold this in. And then with a hand that feels more dominant to you, you can do a couple of things. You can like give it a little whap, okay? And that's to knock out the energy of the cards, because keep in mind that these were made in a factory by people who may or may not have been having a good day, all right? And they were delivered to you by essential workers who we love and who bring us things, who may or may not have been having a good day. And they touched your cards, all right? So we're just knocking the energy out of it. If you are a Reiki practitioner, I so like Reiki your cards, okay? Give them a good dose of light, all right? Just because that's awesome sauce stuff too, okay? And then, because we've sort of like, think of this as having hit the reset button on a very, very, very sensitive instrument, okay? So now we've hit the reset. Now we're going to like touch every card, okay? So this is basically you putting your energy into every single card, okay? So for some of you who have smaller hands, you might find that this is a lot to hold. Feel free to break the card deck into pieces so that it is easier for you to do this. I've been doing this a long time, so I can just whap right through that. See, I'm just touching every card. It's sort of like saying hello, you know, to every single card. So like I said, I've been doing this a long time. I just did 78 cards, all right? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the cards, and with the images facing us, okay, we're going to fan them out a little bit. And I'm going to just lower this just a bit. And we're going to hold them over our heart, okay? And so what I want you to do is I want you to picture, just picture white light of the divine coming down from above and coming into your crown chakra, that's the top of your head, and into your heart. And out your heart chakra comes this light that goes into your card deck. And here's a little prayer that I like to say. Dear archangels, guardian angels, please bless and protect these cards. Please let the readings that I do from them be of value, be of purpose, be of meaning. Let them really make a difference in people's lives. Let them be of service. Let me know, feel, see, and hear the words of Spirit so as to convey the words of Spirit in such a way as to enlighten, to inspire, and to heal. Okay, and that's it. All right, your cards are all sparkly and they're cleaned up and they're ready to go for you to be able to use them. So in using your card deck, so for those of you who were here yesterday, I talked about this magic about working with the card decks because of the millions and millions and millions of people who have walked through that metaphorical forest, creating a path to the divine. And so we can use these cards in lots of different ways. So and some of my card decks are kind of like specific, right? So this is for guardian angels in a way, all right? You can use this deck for anything, for communicating, to get messages from any of the energies that we're going to talk about today, but they are obviously somewhat designed a little bit to be like really honed in on the guardian angels. So for you newbies, who are the guardian angels? Well, the guardian angels are aspects of the divine that are assigned to us at birth to follow us through life. And if you can, so based on your belief system, you can do with this how you want. So if you believe in reincarnation in multiple lives, then follow me. If you don't, it's okay. Your guardian angels came to you in this lifetime to help you get through. But in my personal belief system, which does believe in multiple lifetimes, and that the other people, angel people that I have talked to and the other angel teachers we all agree that those guardian angels are following us through lifetime, through lifetime, through lifetime. Okay, so that's part of what makes working with them so magical, is because we come into this world, and it's the legend is that Archangel Gabriel brings us into this lifetime, and Gabriel touches us in the cleft above our lip, and that makes us forget where we have come from. But our guardian angels never forget. And so by working with our guardian angels, it's such a magical thing to do, because they may realize things that are affecting us, things that from past lives that we don't remember, but they're like, oh, he's acting out that past life he had when he was a crooner in the 1940s, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, so they can help us that way. People really love the archangels, but I think the guardian angels are the great unsung heroes of the angelic realm, because it's like they're with us and they're dedicated to us and only us all the time. All right, they are dedicated to only us. And so I've never seen anyone who had less than 2 guardian angels. All right. And although when you start to work with guardian angels, you may or may not feel a connection with more than one at a time. I didn't, okay? But over time, you may realize that, oh, here's that second one that Radleigh was talking about was going to show up, or, oh, here's a third one, all right? So you just have whatever you need for a given incarnation. Now, I told you that the archangels, a lot of people really, really love working with archangels, and that is super great, okay? And I totally get that. It's a very I'm going to say this and then I'm going to fix it, okay? So the archangels are a very sexy concept, and I don't mean sexy from the standpoint of like, ooh, he's hot. I mean, it's just a sexy concept, because it's like we as human beings really, really, really love to have like rules, okay? It's like you call Archangel Michael for safety and protection. You call Archangel Raphael for health and making sure that your travels are good. You call Archangel Uriel for great epiphanies and life transformation. And so we like that. It's like knowing to call a plumber because you have a plumbing problem, and knowing to call a carpenter when we have a carpenter issue. And so I think that's part of it. Also, they each resonate to a particular color, and I think people really like that. So Now, the thing about archangels is that there are actually technically millions of archangels that we don't even know anything about because they're protecting the universe and they're protecting other worlds and stuff. There are 15 that in the system that I work with that are the most commonly known about. Excuse me. Okay. So I'm going to give you a real quick run through of those. I've got my little list here because I want to do it alphabetically, and there's a reason for that. The first one that I want to tell you about is Archangel Ariel. Okay, Ariel. So Ariel's name means the lioness of God. Now, one of the things that I mentioned yesterday is that archangels and angels technically don't have genders, but they have energies around them, okay? And so Ariel is considered to be a feminine kind of energy, all right? So she comes in a pale pink color. And so I'm gonna use Angel Wisdom Tarot cards to kind of give you a visual on this. Okay, so the archangels will appear to you in whatever way you need to see them. So just because this is the way I see them doesn't mean it's the way you will see them. Okay, but to me, Archangel Ariel is a redhead. Okay, and Archangel Ariel is just kind of like a forgive my language, but just kind of a badass, okay? She really is. She is, to me, in a lot of ways, a somewhat feminine version of Archangel Michael. While Archangel Michael is said to protect mankind, Archangel Ariel is protecting the nature and the animal kingdoms. And so she isn't running around in some angelly garb. You can't run through the forest and protect the animals and in a gown, right? So she's wearing pants, okay? She's dressed for action. So she's kind of got like this elven energy from Lord of the Rings, if you're familiar with that. But because she is the protector of the animal kingdom and the natural world, she's therefore, and listen to this because you're going to care, she is therefore the archangel most associated with manifesting abundance and prosperity, okay? And as such, you can see she even carries jewels dripping from her belt. And she has a bag, and inside that bag are energetic gold coins, and she offers them to us. And not just from the standpoint of, I want to manifest money, but I want to manifest anything. It's like she hands you these gold coins and goes, here, turn that into whatever you want with my blessing. Okay, so she's super cool. I love pairing her with Archangel Michael, especially for anyone who does not feel safe and protected. Okay, so next up is Archangel Azrael. Azrael's name means whom God helps. And I was a dork brain and I didn't put a set of non-shuffled cards with me. So I apologize for my disorganization that way. But so Archangel Azrael, in my opinion, is the archangel that is the most graceful and the most elegant of all the archangels. He is the archangel who is said, I mentioned to you that Gabriel is the archangel that is said to lead us into this lifetime. Well, Archangel Azrael is the archangel who helps us leave this lifetime. Okay, and I have to find his picture because you need to see him. So, and because of that, Archangel Azrael is a great archangel to work with if you were trying to get messages from passed over loved ones. But he is also the archangel that helps people to find comfort and when they have been through great sorrow. He helps to heal people. Here he is. Archangel Azrael is said to be so beautiful that when our body starts to leave, when our spirit starts to leave the body, that we are so enamored with him, regardless of his gender and regardless of orientation, that we sort of like fall in love with him. And therefore, making the transition back to spirit feel safe to us. Okay. And he comes in a creamy white color. Archangel Shamuel, the eyes of God. People get really focused on Shamuel. You can see him up here at the top. People get really focused on Shamuel, the eyes of God, as helping them find things that they've lost. Because as the eyes of God, he is said to be able to see anything. And so help you find your car keys, help you find the love of your life, help you find the perfect job. But Shamuel, for me, is more important from the standpoint of the archangel that brings peace. He brings personal peace to us. All right. So if you are feeling the need for personal peace in your life, Shamuel. Next up is a big favorite of mine is Archangel Gabriel. All right. So Archangel Gabriel is one of the archangel, I think, where people like to fuss about gender. Archangel Gabriel is the archangel of the Annunciation. She is the archangel of creativity, of birth, of children, of communication and motivation. So a lot of that unbundles to sort of feel like feminine energy, but a lot of religions really like their archangels to be male. And so Gabriel's the one archangel where people will try to push back with me, and it's like, I don't care. If Gabriel presents as male to you, that is groovy. I don't care. But to me, this is Archangel Gabriel, and she comes in the color of copper. So if you are a creative type, or someone who needs to speak for a living, or if you're really concerned about having a baby, Gabriel. Next up is Haniel. Haniel her name means the strength. Her name means the grace of God. Almost nobody argues about Haniel and the feminine energy. She is the archangel of the feminine. She rules the moon. She is the archangel of intuitive and psychic abilities and psychic gifts. So if that is something you're trying to develop, then Haniel is definitely an archangel for you to be playing with. Now, to me, this is Archangel Jeremiel. His name means the mercy of God. He comes in dark purple. I should have said that Haniel comes in pale silvery blue of the moon. All right. So these two to me have always felt like brother and sister. And so it's a sibling kind of energy, because he is the archangel of life reviews. You don't have to die to work with Haniel to get a life review. Haniel can help you have a review of your life right now about what is going on. But they both have this sort of premature gray kind of thing going on, and they very often come to work together with people who are working on their divine gifts. Next up is Archangel Jophiel, the beauty of God. So Archangel Jophiel comes in this fuchsia kind of pink kind of color, and she is the archangel of beauty. Feng Shui people love working with Archangel Jophiel because she can help them make things more beautiful. But in particular, and what's more important for me, is that Archangel Jophiel beautifies our thoughts, okay? Helps us to stay positive. And staying positive is a powerful, powerful, important thing about manifesting what you want in your life. All right. Next up is Archangel Metatron. So Archangel Michael, in my opinion, is the most well-known archangel, unless you are of the Judaic faith. Metatron is the superstar of that faith. All right. Archangel Metatron is the archangel of helping us to stay grounded and focused. He is the archangel that helps with sensitive children and sensitive people to help them to feel safe and protected. One of my favorite things about Metatron is time warping. Okay. I recently had to have some really intense dental procedures, which I don't like. That's my biggest phobia in the world, okay? And so I went into that saying, Archangel Metatron, I want you to time travel me I want to go from this moment of walking into this office to the moment of walking out of this office, and I want the time to go like that. And it did. I was in there for an hour and 15 minutes, and it felt like 20 minutes to me. So that was a big difference. Also, big procrastinator. It's terrible. And so when I've got a book deadline coming up and I'm late, sorry, Nicolette, my editor, then it's like Metatron can slow down. And so I'll work and work and work and work and work. And I think it's time for lunch, and I get up and it's 8:30 in the morning. So it works. All right. Next is, the big blue guy, Archangel Michael. His name means he who is like God. Now, when I said that I wasn't trying to mean that archangels are sexy, it's still true of Archangel Michael. He is sexy. Okay, most people envision Archangel Michael to be this hunky guy with blonde hair and muscles, and he's got the sword of light, and he's here to save the day. He's very Thor, Chris Helmsworth. Okay, Chris Helmsworth would make a great Archangel Michael. He just would. All right. So, but Archangel Michael can present in all kinds of different ways, including in other genders. So, however, but Archangel Michael, I think the reason people love Archangel Michael so much is because he's the Archangel of safety and protection. He's also the Archangel of life purpose. And so many people really care about that right now. That's what they are so focused on, is what is my life purpose? Hang out with Michael. Okay. Next up is Archangel Raguel. I love Raguel. Such an important archangel. He comes in a pale blue. Okay, his name means the friend of God. This is the guy that can smooth out relationships that you have that are a mess. Okay, you got a relationship that is a real mess right now. Raguel can help you smooth that out and bring peace where there is discord. Okay, he can also he can help hook you up with the right person, open doors for you in your career. Raguel. Okay, next up is Archangel Raphael, also kind of a hottie, at least in the way he presents to me. So Raphael, his name means whom God heals, or God heals. All right, he comes in emerald green. And Archangel Raphael is about physical healing. So envision Raphael bringing his emerald green light down through your body and literally physically healing you. Okay, he's also the Archangel of travel. So if you travel, you want Raphael with you. And he's also something of a matchmaker. Okay, so that's Raphael. Next up is Archangel Raziel. So Raziel's name means the secrets of God, because Archangel Raziel comes in rainbow colors and is said to be the archangel that sits at the throne of the divine and takes down all the secrets. So if you're working on esoteric things like learning tarot, this is the guy to help you do that. Okay, he helps unlock the secrets. A big favorite of mine is Archangel Sandalphon. Okay, Archangel Sandalphon comes in turquoise, and he is said to be so tall that his feet are on earth and his head is in heaven. And a lot of people really get focused on Sandalphon because he's the archangel of music. And if you're a musician, you really should be working with Sandalphon. But that's not the biggie for me. Archangel Sandalphon is the archangel that delivers prayers directly to source, right? I mean, who doesn't want that, buddy? Right? He literally is said to take all the prayers of earth and weave them into a beautiful wreath that he lays at the head of the divine, so that those prayers will be heard and felt and answered, and then delivers the answers back to you. Okay? Yeah, this is a guy you want to know. Okay. If you know me, if you follow me, you know who my favorite is. It's this guy, the big gold guy, Archangel Uriel. the light or fire of God. And Uriel comes to us in golden glitter light, although some just see yellow. For me, it's golden glitter. And Archangel Uriel is the Archangel of Epiphany. I'm wearing his colors today on purpose, okay? So he is the Archangel of Epiphany. And so he provides these brilliant ideas and epiphanies, but the thing that matters more is that the epiphanies lead to emotional healing that leads to life transformation. You want to transform your life, get the big gold guy on the job. All right. And finally, we have Archangel Zadkiel, the righteousness of God. All right. And he comes in deep indigo blue. So Archangel Zadkiel is sort of like the ginkgo biloba of the Archangel realm. Okay. He helps us with our memories. He helps us to take tests, to pass exams. You're trying to pass the bar, you're trying to pass the CPA exam. God bless you. You know, whatever you're trying to learn, you're in college, you're just trying to learn things. This is a great archangel for students, okay? But also the archangel of forgiveness. If you are trying to forgive others or forgive yourself, Zadkiel can help. So that's the 15 archangels. We're going to do a meditation towards the end of this, and I'm going to run you through the names, and you're going to look for a ping for yourself. So the two decks that I have created that are really great for working with the archangels are Angel Wisdom Tarot cards and Archangel Power Tarot cards. Now, this deck has something extra in it, in that at the bottom of the cards, it'll tell you, oh, you've drawn the Ace of Fire. You can also work with Metatron for that. So it's kind of got that little code at the bottom, which I think is super cool and fun. So, and obviously, if you're working with guardian angels and you're trying to get messages from your guardian angels, this is a great deck to work with. All right. So then there's the elemental realm. Okay, so let's talk about energies. So there's earth energy, which is really dense and kind of here and thud, okay? It's beautiful, but it's a dense energy. So then you've got angels, which are up here, okay? But down here in between is the elemental realm. And this is where things, energies exist for things like fairies, okay? So if that is something that you really dig, all right, fairy tarot cards. And so this deck or any deck, because again, they all will work. But if you want to try to connect into that elemental realm of fairies or unicorns or dragons or anything that's like that, then that's the card deck that you can use for that. Any deck will help you with animal guides. You can just look, for example, here, right away, I pull the card. It's Queen of Earth, and she has a bunny rabbit there. So if you're trying to sort, you can shuffle through the cards and just look for what animal do I see? And then you can do the research to go, oh, well, what does bunny mean? Well, bunnies are abundance and prosperity. They hop, and they also move us forward because they leap to the next space. So before we go to getting messages from past over loved ones, I want to give you more clarity on how this works. All right. So let's say, for grins and giggles, she came up, so let's do it. Let's say that Radleigh's working on his divine spiritual gifts, and he wants to become more psychic. He wants to intensify what's going on, and he knows that Archangel Haniel is the archangel for that. So if you've got a deck that's like this, go through it, pull out Haniel, all right? And because what we're doing is we're taking this card and making it sort of like the anchor space. So you're just gonna lay that card down on the desk and then shuffle the rest of the cards. And the whole time what you're doing is in your heart, you're holding the space for, I want a message from Haniel about how to develop my spiritual gifts. So that's what you're thinking while you're shuffling. Dear Archangel Haniel, give me a message about how to develop my spiritual gifts. And then you pull out, just do a 3-card reading. But that reading is then, because we have this anchored from Haniel. Does that make sense to people? Do you get that? You can do the same thing with your guardian angels. One of the things that I like to tell people about this particular deck is that if you want to kind of have a sense of what your guardian angel looks like, go through this deck. You can shuffle the cards and go, oh, here's a guardian angel for me. Or I like to give you the power. Go through the deck and go, okay, I'm just sort of like waiting for, I call it the ping, okay? It's like, oh, that's it. I feel like that's what my guardian angel looks like because I just got angel bumps. So that is called a significator, all right? So we'll come back to that in a minute. I know I'm trying to cram as much into today as I possibly can. I hope I'm not leaving you guys in the lost balls in the weeds here. So, so that's how you can like pull in, you can pull a specific card and go, I want a reading from Archangel Michael, or I want a reading from Archangel Uriel, or I want a reading from my guardian angel. And my guardian angel looks like, to me, this lady. And so you can just lay it down and pull 3 cards around it. All right. So let's go back to the concept of significator. All right. So in tarot, a significator is a card that we choose in the deck to represent ourselves or to represent someone else. Okay. So for example, a good significator for me would be this one, because this is just goofy, right? This is just something I would do. I would hang from a tree. and actually, if you look at this card, this is a thing I do. There's lots of symbolism in here, but there's also Easter eggs. Look, those are my other card decks falling out of my bag. So I could like know that this is me, all right? Or maybe I would pull a card and say, you know what? That's my sister. All right. And so when you shuffle cards and this card comes up, you know it's possible that this is a message about your sister, or this is a message about Radleigh, or whoever you decided they were about. But you can make a significator for someone that has passed over. Okay. So you could go through the card deck and go, you know what? I have to admit, this really does look like my Aunt Norma. And I really, really, really need to hear from my Aunt Norma right now. And so you lay that card down, you shuffle the cards, do a 3-card reading and get your message. So this is the way in which you can use the card decks to get information from guardian angels, from archangels, from the fairy or elemental realm, from passed over loved ones, from messages from the animal kingdom. This is the way that you can do that. All right. So I hope that made sense to you, because the next thing I want to do is to help you to get an understanding of who might be reaching out towards you at this time. Okay. So we're going to do a little meditation. And what I'm going to do, I want to explain it to you first so that you're not confused. And I don't want your mind racing of what is he doing? What is he doing? What is he doing? So I'm going to do a meditation. I'm going to bring in Archangel Michael because I want to seal the space between us. I want you to feel safe and protected to do this. And then I'm going to say the 15 names. I'm not going to talk about them. I'm just going to say Archangel Ariel, Archangel Azrael, Archangel Shamuel. And what I want you to do is I want you to let your body talk to you. And so if you get goosebumps, if your heart jumps, when I say Gabriel, your heart just goes like that, pay attention to that. Okay, because what we're doing is we're just doing a scan of who might be reaching out to you at this particular moment. And then I'm going to say, get a sense for, do you feel your guardian angels on either side of you? All right? To let you reach out to that. Then I'm going to say, do you have any sense of elementals around you? Fairies, merpeople, dragons. Then I'm going to say, all right, I want you to stop for a moment and think who might be reaching out to you from the other side. And that's for you to just, whoever pops in your mind, whoever it is it your mom who's passed over, your brother who's passed over, a dear friend who's left us. Just let it pop into your mind. Because what I want you to do for your homework between today and tomorrow is whichever archangel popped up for you, whichever passed over loved one. And by the way, it's okay if nobody does, all right? Because it's like, maybe there's no one passed over that you need to connect with right now. Or maybe you're just not into the elemental realm. You just don't really want to talk to fairies. That's okay. But whoever does come through, that's your homework, to do a 3-card reading to get a message from them from whatever deck you want to use. Did that make sense? Okay, all right, you ready? Okay, here we go. So we're gonna try to put your feet flat on the floor, or in whatever way is normal for you to ground yourself. And we're going to take some breaths. We're going to breathe in and out. In and out. In and out. And in this moment, we ask Archangel Michael, he who is like God, to join us and to wrap this space with his energetic sapphire blue light, using his sword of light to sever away energetic connections to fear and to worry and to anxiety and to concern and to stories and the past and the outside world, keeping us wrapped and safe individually in our sapphire blue bubbles, but also a giant sapphire blue bubble around this entire community, allowing us to feel safe, knowing that nothing can sever that. That is not of the divine, that is not of source, that is not of universal love. And now we are going to invite in the archangels. And I want you to just pay attention, listen, feel for that ping. There may only be one. The first time I did this, there was just Uriel. Or there may be multiple ones, but here we go. Listen and feel for the ping. Archangel Ariel. Ariel. Archangel Azrael. Azrael. Archangel Shamuel. Shamuel. Archangel Gabriel. Gabriel. Archangel Haniel. Haniel. Archangel Jeremiel. Jeremiel. Archangel Jophiel. Jophiel. Archangel Metatron. Metatron. Archangel Michael. Michael. Archangel Raguel. Raguel. Archangel Raphael. Raphael. Archangel Raziel. Raziel. Archangel Sandalphon. Sandalphon. Archangel Uriel. Uriel. Archangel Zadkiel. Zadkiel. Just make a note in your mind of the archangel that you might have gotten a ping from. Now we reach out to your guardian angels. I just want you to breathe, get a sense of if they are there, if they are present. If they are, that's great. If they're not, you just need another moment, you need more time, that's okay too. But just notice if you feel energy around you. Do you feel like a calling, a compassionate reaching out? Do you have a sense of the elemental realm? Of fairies, unicorns, dragons, a higher vibration than Earth, but not as high as the angels, somewhere in the middle. Do you have a sense now of someone who has left this plane, someone who has returned to spirit, who might be reaching out to you right now? Don't judge it or question it. If a name shows up or a picture of a face shows up in your mind, just note that, quietly note it. All right, so now we're going to bring our awareness back into the reality that is here, the illusion that is this lifetime. Just rub your hands together, rub your feet on the floor, and when you're ready, open your eyes. So that's your homework, okay? That's your homework. I want you to pick one of them or all of them and see what comes up. Now we've got a lot of hands up, so I'm going to start trying to race through questions. All right. I just feel completely called so just so you know, it's like the angels just put arrows over people's heads, and that's just how I do it. Okay. So Mel, I've asked to unmute you.
Hi there.
Hi, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How about you?
I'm very well. How can I help?
Are we asking angel questions or any question?
You can ask any question.
Well, I am trying to figure out the next steps for me, and I think I'm on the right path. I just really feel like I need confirmation. I definitely felt my angels present with me, but I'm unsure. It might be insecure, but I feel like it's unsure.
Okay, I think, so first of all, the light around you is stunningly bright, okay? That's why it was so easy to just go, okay, we're starting there. Because, so it's to me, you would not be glowing the way you're glowing if you're not on the right path. You've also, in my perception, have Gabriel with you at this particular moment in time. Okay, so whatever it is you're trying to create is either about speaking or communicating, possibly creating something for yourself or helping other people to create something for themselves. But it's that it's Gabriel is a really great energy for you. Because it's people get hold on. I can't do both of them. I can't channel and also shuffle cards. So let me just do this. Okay. Okay. Okay, where did I go? I lost me, but that's okay. So can you see this card?
Not quite. Hold on.
Okay,
Let me make you full
let me see
screen.
if I can find me so that I can.
Is that the awakening card? I remember that
It
from
is.
yesterday.
It is. It's the awakening card. There I am. Okay. So C hits the awakening card. This card is pause, perspective, selflessness. So that's kind of like what you're going through right now. It's just you're hanging a little bit because you know that you're just not 100% sure, but you are on path. Okay. You are absolutely on path. Four of fire, celebrate. Okay. Okay, four of fire, celebrate, and finally, five of air. So it's like I think you're a little worried that you're going to make a mistake,
Yes.
and I
am.
really want you to not do that. Okay, because it's like you are glowing. Okay, you are. So you're on path. Trust yourself. That's just ego talking. It might also be preconceived notions put in your head from a previous career.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I thought, yeah.
You're
So
on
it's like
point. Yes.
you need to like quiet that because we're not going backwards, we're going forwards.
Mhm.
All right.
Mhm.
So, but I would love for you to pull three cards with Gabriel.
Okay. Okay.
Give it
Yes.
a go. See what she or he, however you get it, I don't care. See what is presented to you because I think she's hanging out with you.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank
All
you
right.
so much. I
You're
appreciate you.
welcome.
Thank
Mhm.
you.
All right, let's see. So let's go over here. And so, hello, Louise. I feel like I need to say hello to Louise. Hi.
Hello, Radleigh.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm
Good.
so happy to be here and following all those courses with you. I'm going crazy with all this, but I love it.
What can I do for you today?
Well, I find that when I try to do readings for my children, it appears to me that it's more difficult because I don't know, my channeling goes like, I don't know.
Well, it's like, I mean, let's be honest. You are very emotionally attached to the response, right?
Yeah,
You're very emotionally attached. And so whenever we are, and another way of putting it, as I also call it, being emotionally charged. Okay. So it's like when we're emotionally charged, it gets very difficult to do a reading for somebody about somebody else or for somebody else. So for example, let's say, this is a totally made up example. Let's say I had a son. I don't. Let's say I did, and that he's 14 and he's flunking geometry. Okay. And I'm just freaked out, and the kids are making fun of him at school. And oh my God, is it going to be okay? If I'm having one of those like moments, you are not going to be able to read at all.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you have to be in a place of like equilibrium. It's like you've got to be in this space of, okay, if you know that you want to get information about your children and check on them in a moment when you're not worried. Okay, so you can try that. So it's like, now, over time, Louise, I will tell you, over time, you get where you can control that mostly. You will, if you keep practicing, you will get to this place where, okay, I'm really freaked out about my kids, but I have my energy pulled down and I can do readings.
Yeah.
Also, are your kids grown or how old are your kids?
Well, 30 years old.
Yeah.
And it's easier with my son than it is with my daughter. So it's funny to see one that it's better and the
Is
one
your
is
daughter
like,
more secretive?
no, not that
Not
much,
really.
no.
Oh, that's interesting. So what I would say is that if you're having trouble like doing a reading and the question is like, well, if your daughter's name was Lisa, it's like, is Lisa going to be okay? Then you might feel an energetic pushback on that, because that might be Lisa at some level being private. Okay. But if you re-ask the question a different way, ask the question of, in what way can I be the best support to Lisa at this moment that I could possibly be? I bet you'll get more stuff.
Okay. And
Okay.
should I use this significator card
I think
in that case?
significators is a really great way. Yeah. I mean, go through the deck and find a card that either the message of the card or the energy of the card feels like Lisa to you, or it can be as simple as, you know what, she sort of looks like Lisa to me.
Okay.
Then that's good too. Either way works.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, so we're out of time, but I'm still going to take a few more questions. Is that okay, Curtis?
Yeah, that's fine. We have time.
Okay, all right. That's the voice of God saying that I can ask more questions, answer more questions. Okay, so hello, Andrea. How are you, dear? So you have to tell me if it's Andrea or Andrea.
It is Andrea.
Hi, Andrea. What's up?
Hi. Oh, I just want to first of all say thank you. I just wondered if you're picking up any messages from the angels about romantic partnerships and future of romantic partnerships in my life.
Okay. Okay, so the answer is there is this is not this is a thing I teach in my broader angel classes. So there's a thing that's called a special projects angel. Okay, so it feels guardian angelish in energy. Guardian angels come in a white energy, so do special project angels. But special project angels are not permanently focused on you. Okay, they've popped in because they have a project. Okay, and so you have a special projects angel right now on romance. Okay, and she is not to be messed with. Okay, so let me like find myself again so that I can show you, make sure you can see this card. Where did I go?
I can see it.
Far away. There I am. Okay, so see her? I mean, don't you want to have lunch with her? Right?
Yeah.
I do. I want to have lunch with this woman, right? So she is a sassy pants, but she is very balanced and very well put together. So that's the energy right now of that special projects angel that is around you, because you have made a boo-boo or two. Who hasn't? Right? And she is very, very concerned about you not repeating past cycles. Okay, so she is here to break those cycles with you. I also pulled a second card about timing for you. Okay, because we don't want to say that the angels are prepping you for a relationship and that it's coming and just leave you hanging as to when we think this is about to happen. So I pulled Seven of Earth. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So whenever I pull a timing card, what I do is I stop and I go, okay, is it 7 days? No, it's not 7 days. Is it 7 weeks? Is it 7 months? Nope, I'm going back to 7 weeks. Okay. So, but what I also love about this card is there are 5 sevens in tarot, right? So I'm like, well, why this 7? Well, this is investment, assessment, and you're going to hate this word, patience. Okay, so 7 of Earth shows up when something we're trying to manifest is in the process of manifesting, but it's just going to take a little bit longer. So for you, I feel like this card has a dual meaning. It has the meaning of, in about 7 weeks, I think you're going to meet somebody, okay? But it's going to move slowly. You don't get to race to the end this time, okay? It's going to move slowly. When this kind of energy in a relationship always reminds me of my sister, because my sister has been with her husband for 34 years, okay? And their relationship was so slow. I'm the type that falls in love and I move in next week, okay? That's me, all right? So, yeah, I know, girl, I know. So, but it's like my sister, it was the slow moving, it was elegant. it was just literally elegant. That's what's going to happen. And you're going to want to race to the end, and she ain't going to let you. Okay.
Thank you.
You're just going to have to live it. Okay. All right.
Thank you so much.
Sure. Just let me know how it goes. Okay. Okay. So, hey, Raymond, what's up?
Yeah. Hi. Thank you for picking me.
Sure.
I wanted to ask.
Or you want a card, or what do you want?
Well, I had a question, which
Sure.
was I met my twin flame 5 years ago, and we've been in separation for 2 years, and I'm curious to know if we will ever reunite in this lifetime, and maybe when that might be.
So, really quick, for those who don't know what Raymond is talking about, I think there's like 3 kinds of relationships. There's a lovely romance, which there's nothing wrong with that. That can make you happy forever, okay? Then there's what is like a soulmate, which is not the same thing as a twin flame in my perception. So a soulmate is someone that you've got some past life experiences with, and they can it can really be an exciting, woof, kind of beautiful relationship, but it also, they know where the buttons are, okay? And they push them. They push your buttons, and they're doing it on purpose, because what they're doing is that they, more so than a regular romance, are here to help you grow, okay? So they're gonna irritate you. Think of the sand in a pearl, right? The sand in an oyster that becomes the pearl. It's the agitation, right? Twin flames, they don't just know where a few of the buttons are, they know where all of the buttons are, every last one, and they aggravate the ever-loving crap out of you at the same time that they send your soul singing to the heavens. It is the hardest kind of relationship to have of all. So if you ask the angels for a twin flame relationship, know what you're asking for, okay? So Raymond, I get it. I know what that feels like. And I'm gonna pull a card for you on this, okay? Well, so I'm just going to tell you the truth. The card I pulled for you is the Hermit, okay? So let's unwind that first, okay? So the Hermit, people think the Hermit is alone, okay? Because we think of hermits and we think they stay in a cave and they're all by themselves and blah, 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 blah. The Hermit is actually at the top of the mountain, okay? Holding his lantern, but he is not alone, because coming up the side of the hill are all the people that are coming to learn, all right? He's holding the lantern because he is the light. So I think that this is you in this moment of your life right now, because you are in a space. Does spiritual teacher resonate for you? Does it resonate for you to be yeah, okay. So that's the part of yourself that you are developing right now, okay? And so that's why Mr. or Mrs. Soulmate is not around right now.
Okay.
So let's get more clarification on this. So is this a temporary thing, or has Raymond learned what he needed to learn from soulmate person? The boat's going to come back into the shore. Okay, so it's going to come back, but I think it's going to come back after both of you have grown some more. Okay, I think that if that ship comes back into harbor, it's just going to be clash, 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 clash. So I think it's coming back, but not right this minute. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
You know what? Enjoy your time with yourself. Okay, because it's like you have a lot going on. Okay. All right.
Thank
Okay. You're welcome. So let's see. I'm going to do, I can't hold my producer here forever. So Terry, what's your question?
For me, it's the success of my business.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to go to Angel Wisdom Tarot cards for that. Do you have a certain element that you're asking about, or you just want me to pull cards and see what I get?
I don't think I have a certain element. So general.
Oh, good. Good. And really good. Okay. So this
Yay.
is good. Okay. This is very, very good. So I think that you have been like making some plans. Okay, so this is 2 of fire. So this is a card where we're trying to like build on our experience. We're trying to take things to the next level. This is a card of collaboration and cooperation. So if you're not collaborating with someone, you might want to. You might want to like see who else has done what you're trying to do and see if they can help you to like get to the next step. Does this business have an intuitive essence to it, or is this card just trying to tell you to listen to your intuition? Either way, it's like this is a very intuitive card, but it is it's the moon. Okay, so the moon is a card where that which has been hidden from us is about to be revealed. Okay, so I think that in working in collaboration with somebody else, the aha moments come.
Okay.
Okay. And then finally, we've got Archangel Michael as the Emperor. This is organization, structure, and discipline. If you don't have that, you are going to have to get it.
Yes.
Okay.
Working on that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This is not crucial yet, but once the aha moment comes, it will be crucial.
Comes in.
It will be crucial.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
That's very encouraging. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so everybody, I gotta go. So everybody say, thank you, Curtis, for letting us have extra time. Okay, and so we're gonna be seeing you again tomorrow. And webinar 3, the Dreamer's Journey, a walk through the major arcana, the metaphorical aspect of life. Okay, all right, see you tomorrow.